Hello, Aquarius. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan, illustrated by Mark Evans. Website in the bottom is llewellyn.com. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out if you want to, for the spelling, naturally. Naturally. Supportive Oracle Cards. Chakra Wisdom Oracle Cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen Raish Baskin. Websites on the back, torihartman.com, watkinspublishing.co.uk, or watkinspublishing.com. Naturally, freeze frame if you want to, for the spelling or whatever you need. Okay, what do we have for Aquarius? That's interesting. The first thing I got was like, do I even want to remove the block? Like, do I even want to do that? There's a block, but do I want to move it? Like, if I do remove this block, like, who really gets the benefit from that? This is interesting, because there's a block here. Did you put the block there? I don't think so. What is it with this block? There's a block, but I'm like, maybe I don't want to remove it. Just because there's a block doesn't mean it's a problem for me. Five of Swords, but it's kind of detached. And then the Emperor, which comes in twice. This is an energy that can be very compatible with Aquarius. It's interesting that you have this Queen of Wands. Don't get caught up in the gender, but I'm like, I feel like you match. You match whoever this is. You match this energy. Somebody else has blocked something. I do feel like, again, you're compatible with this. You could remove the block. I keep getting that you could if you wanted to. But I also see you looking at this and kind of like, I don't know how this is going to sound, but you're watching other people struggle and you're learning a lot from that. Like, why are they struggling? Why is this such a problem for them? If this block is removed, then what? Should it even be removed? Like, is this... Not every block is a bad thing. You know what I mean? People, like, I feel people hear the word block and they're like, oh no, a block. Sometimes that's not bad. Sometimes things being blocked is not a bad thing. And I feel like you might be looking at that the same way. Kind of like, it's blocked and other people don't like it. But maybe that's okay. You haven't made up your mind if you're... Like, I feel like the way you're looking at it is like, if I really want to remove it, I can deal with this energy. I can talk with them. I'm sure we can start working on different ways to kind of get things around it or move things here or move things there. But I keep looking at it like, you know what? For right now, I just don't feel like that's necessary. Not now. You have options. You do. The thing is, I'm also watching some bad behavior. And I feel like that might be motivating you to kind of like, well, maybe that block is more effective because there's some bad behavior here. And as long as that block is there, we can keep that contained in a certain way. As long as that block is serving a couple different opportunities or a couple different purposes is probably what I should say. There's something here with what's going on around you, because I get the Four of Cups and the Vanity, like, with the block being in place, maybe certain people are behaving badly, and that's what I'm noticing more than anything else. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to help them if that's how they're going to act. There are people here who are very happy with themselves. Three of Wands and the Sun card. Okay, Three of Wands and the Sun card. Three of Wands, normally when I look at the Three of Wands, that's travel. That's something moving, something going, or a new opportunity coming in, something coming in. It's something moving either out or in, one way or the other. The Sun card came in with it on the dice. So those are the two dice I got. I got the Three of Wands, and I got the Sun card. So I feel like maybe that's one of the reasons you're not helping remove this block right now. Because with that block in place, other people feel like they're never going to get past it. And just maybe there's certain people who are going to move on because of it is better. Maybe that's better. Maybe that's a peaceful way to get certain people to move on. In fact, I keep looking at this and like maybe like if you asked somebody to leave, kind of like, hey, you're a trouble, you're a problem, you're a problem. Can you leave? If you went up to that person and said that, other people would be bent out of shape about that. That might be an issue, or people are like, oh, they fired them, or oh, this person was asked to leave, and oh my, that makes me nervous, and blah 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 blah. Anyway, instead of having to deal with that political aspect of it, if you will, by just leaving that block in place, this person, the troublemaker, is getting very frustrated and deciding, you know what, forget it, I'm going elsewhere. And it's kind of like, hey, everybody's dealing with that block, and they're choosing to go on their own accord. So it's not like anybody forced them to go. They're choosing to go. So they can't be mad at me if they're leaving, but it does get rid of a problem. Aquarius is clearly smart. Y'all know you're smart. That's not news to y'all. But, yeah. This, when I'm feeling this play out, I'm like, that is totally an Aquarius thing to do. Kind of like, there's more than one way to handle a situation, and you can make changes happening without people realizing you're making changes happening. Did I say that right? You can make things change without people realizing you're the one that made it change. Or you can assist a change. Like, you can see a change coming and you can be like, well, I can just help that along without people really looking at me at it or blaming me for it. A change that really does need to happen. Very sharp. Aquarians are very sharp. I mean, I had a grandmother who was a school teacher. I have a couple other Aquarians in my family. They are pretty smart. I've also had some Aquarians that they seem to be their worst enemy. Is that a thing too? I don't know. Not that would always be the case, but I've seen that too. You're waiting it out. You're doing what you need to do. There's something else. There's this. Random energy, which is not a problem for you. Something else about this block is proving to have another benefit. It's probably not coming right away. I'd probably say at least a month, if not 2, before you actually see it. 9 of Pentacles. Ooh, somebody very self-sufficient. Somebody who's not communicating, you're just going to have to see it. They're not telling you. In fact, maybe they don't even like you. I don't see that bothering you. When I say they don't like you, I don't see them like... They're not a problem for you, but they're not warm and fuzzy for you, if that makes sense. They're not like, they can't wait to talk to Aquarius. No, they don't like talking to you, maybe that's what it is. They don't like talking to you. But they're not a problem, but they don't like you, but they don't dislike you. Maybe they're in that weird energy. I think you know what I mean, where like maybe you talk to them and they clam up, or they just kind of look at you like you have 2 heads. But they're not really a problem. They don't go out of their way to cause issue for you. They just seem to they maybe try to avoid you. They might be that one. It's one of those people I feel like you don't expect them to like you, but it's kind of like we're fine. We're fine. It doesn't bother you. That's the bottom line. I don't know what I'm trying to do with that. Like, is there something else I need to say with that? Because I don't know what they're not a problem, but they're not a friendly energy either way. This is where your benefit comes in. That person. Because they're making moves, they're getting things done, they're showing their worth. This is actually an energy that you could get along with better. Again, I don't feel enemy. Maybe that's what I should be highlighting. They're not an enemy, but they're not friendly. They're definitely not. And I feel like they get really uncomfortable around you. They might have a bad opinion of you. Maybe they think you're mean. Maybe they think you're a problem maker. They're uneasy with your energy, but they're not an enemy. I don't know. At some point in my life, maybe I'll come forward with the right term there I need. I don't know. Not today, apparently. When things change, I feel like you start realizing who this person really is and why they're really uncomfortable with you. The facade leaves. Because I feel like there's maybe they look at you like you have 2 heads, or like they don't like you or whatever. You make them nervous. That's the bottom line. You make them nervous. They're afraid that you're going to target them. I don't see that being an actual thing you're going to do with them at any point. But they might have some misconceptions, and once those misconceptions are kind of cleaned away, I feel like this person can be a lot more helpful. This is more of an asset. This person is more of an asset than you realized. They're also very big with loyalty. They're very loyal. This is also coming forward by leaving this block in place. You're going to learn this about this person. This is somebody that's it's better to have them on your side. If they're not on your side, I still don't see them being a problem for you. But if they are on your side, they are definitely a worthwhile asset. It's kind of like when you need that ride to the store and nobody else can give you a ride and your car went, they'll give you the ride to the store. That's that person. Like, you know what? I'm really glad I had them as a friend because I needed to really get to the store today. I really did. There's things I really need today. They took me. They were going anywhere, and they brought me back. So that was extremely helpful. When I'm in a pinch, this is the person who really bails me out of a difficult situation. It's always good to have assets like that around. And I don't think they're stressful for you anyway. So they have benefits that are yet to be discovered. This might be somebody who has more talent than you know. They might have more connections than you know. They tend to be quiet. But what they know very well. They have really good. They probably have really good connections, but they keep that very private unless they feel like it's necessary to bring it forward. This is somebody who has a lot of benefit. This is another thing. This is another thing that might come from the situation. More than one benefit here. So they're just kind of giving you a heads up. If you decide that, hey, you know what, maybe I'll clear up those misconceptions so that this way this person feels more comfortable with me, you're going to find they're a much better asset. Do you have to? Obviously not. Is it worth it? It looks like it's worth it to me. You decide for yourself. There you go. Anything else? All right, I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.